Okay, guys. So, Halo Campaign Evolved released a few days ago at the time of this recording, and the early reception of the fan base on the majority of the, I guess, standard gaming review sites has been mostly positive. I got like 80%, which is great. Like, it's not amazing, but it's great. It's like, it's like a B plus. So, yeah, all the reviews on there are mostly positive. However, for a majority of the hardcore gamers, like people who've been playing Halo since the original, and even some of the newer generation, who obviously played the remakes of the original, like not like a the remaster. They played the remasters of the original games because Halo Campaign Evolved would be more of a remake than a remaster. So the people who grew up playing the remasters, even they are all saying that this is not Halo. This is not Halo. This is some type of abomination, and they don't know why it even exists. They're very, very upset with the final result of the game. I have to watch what I say here because obviously this is the newer YouTube, newer platforms are not very um, supportive of you talking about certain subjects in a certain type of way. So I have to watch what I say here. But there are a lot of specific details, especially in the actual campaign and in the plot and the story of Halo, that are very, very modern. And a majority of the fan base who played the original games and the remasters, they are not like this remake at all. They do not like how these classic characters have been brought into the modern age. They really don't like it. They're saying that they're basically saying the game is being Disneyified. That's not a specific word or term they used. That's something I'm making up on the spot right now. It's being Disneyified. And I think you guys know what I mean when I say that. The Disney Disneyification, the Disneyfication. Yes, that's a good word. That's a good way to say it. So the Disneyfication of video games has been happening. Again, this is something else I'm making up on the spot as well. The Disneyfication of modern games has been happening for a while now, but I guess most people didn't think that it was going to happen to a game like Halo because Halo is such a huge part of the culture. It's one of the most groundbreaking and famous first person shooters in human history. It even is up there. Like I don't want to say superior to Doom. I'm not going to say anything that ridiculous, but it's up there with Doom. It's up there with Doom. It's on the Mount Everest of one of the greatest FPSs ever. Um, so obviously, up there will also be like games like Perfect Dark and GoldenEye and you know games like that. They're all up there, but I'm not going to say that Halo's better than any of those others. I don't want to get to that debate right now. I want to focus more on Halo Campaign Evolved, but it's up there on the Mount Everest of FPSs. And to see this happen to Halo is very scary. It's very scary because Halo Campaign Evolved is not going to be the first game that they're going to remake. They're going to be doing this for pretty much everything from the early 2000s and beyond. And if this is how they're going to do it, it's not looking good for a majority of fans, a majority of hardcore fans who want certain aspects of that era to stay intact. These remakes are, from what we see from Campaign Evolved, are going to be removing that same early 2000s Wild West energy from their remakes, um, from their games, and that's very, very scary. I understand their fear. There's a character in particular that I'm not going to go into the details of right now that is actually um, what people will call a Mary Sue. Like this character, I'm not going to talk about the gender of the character, but this character is actually trying to upstage the chief, and people that that character in particular really, 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 really rubbed fans the wrong way. Like that character is very upsetting, and I'm just going to leave that subject where it is. I don't want to get into details of that because I want this video to be demonetized. The fact that that character, was acting all tough and all proud, um, to the chief, and obviously that character is supposed to represent a very specific like culture, a very specific group of people. Fans were very upset about that. And then even the Master Sergeant, they didn't like the portrayal of the Master Sergeant, and they didn't like how the Covenant, of all things, the Covenant were like almost like again like a Disney villain where they were explaining their plans and they're introducing their team of alien races, like they're like assembling an evil version of the Avengers. They didn't like fans really didn't like that. I don't want this video to be too long, but these are some of the details that they were going into. And it actually makes it I didn't play Campaign Involved yet at the time of this recording. But I've seen enough, read enough reviews to understand, what they did to Halo, and I'm not going to cry in this video. I'm not going to do that. But that that is very upsetting to me. It's very upsetting to me too. I'm going to give it a chance. I am going to play it. I'm going to give it a chance because I don't want to, you know, just talk about it and not play it ever. I will give it a chance eventually, but I think I'm going to stick with the remasters for the time being. And I want you guys to let me know in the comment section what you guys think. You guys think that this is a trend that's going to spread to other franchises that get remade? Keep it civil in the comment section. Keep it civil. I've been on AdClear. You guys have been amazing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, and one more big detail before I end this video. A lot of evidence is supporting the fact that this game wasn't even made in-house by Xbox or 343 Industries. Um, it was actually made by outsourcing the game to other developers. Now we're not sure who the developers are, but it wasn't 343. It wasn't 343. So yeah, that's another detail that I should bring up. I should bring to your attention. I'll update you guys with any more new information when we find out who these game developers are. But just that fact just is a support of the criticism because if it's not being made by Microsoft, you know, who are these people making the game? Anyway, enough of me babbling. I'll see you guys in the next one.